I'm going live today. Super excited about that. Super duper excited about it. I'm 15 seconds in. I have to say that me going live is a big deal to me, y'all, because I'm not used to it. So I'm challenging my fears and facing them, and here we are. I thought about this last night. I wanted to go live on TikTok, but I don't have my TikTok head count up yet. So, anyone watching this, please follow me on my social apps. My TikTok account is MAMTV. Okay, I update all of my content on TikTok in shorts, not the full amount of it. But please follow me on my social apps. Just call me Auntie on Instagram and JUSCALLMEAUNTI on Instagram and MAMTV on TikTok. So then I can go on. I can go on and do a live. Oh, I probably could have did a live on Instagram too, couldn't I? Let me check into that while I'm sitting here because I want to get into something. I want to leave y'all with something that I know that you can use, something useful to inspire you. It's Saturday. A lot of us are at home and we are reflecting on our week, and we're either super excited about what we've accomplished this week or we're apprehensive, as to how we are being viewed by people or whatever. When you're on a job or you're dealing with stuff in life, we we tend to not want to acknowledge these feelings because it makes us feel like we care too much about what other people think. But every last one of us cares in one way or another, y'all. It'd be a lie to say you just don't care at all about what anybody thinks about you, especially if you're working for someone, or especially if you're in a situation where you have to deal with people. It does matter. But I want to check something about this Instagram. Oh, Instagram Live. Maybe I could. Let's do it. Let's see. I'm bold today. I'm feeling very bold and daring today. And so let's go for it. We might as well. We out here. We out here with our cup anyway, right? We got our cup out. We got our cup out, so we might as well go for the gusto. Live. Instagram Live. All right, so I'm live on both YouTube and Instagram. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So I wanted to come on today. I have, last night I was up thinking of something. And like I said, many of you have sat up this morning and reflected back upon your work week. Many of you have sat and thought about maybe things that you'd like to implement differently this week coming. And they all have to do with your walk, whatever it was last week or the weeks before, whether on your job or within your family. It could be within your relationships with someone else. We're all reflective, and we're all taking into account what you could do better, how you are received by others. What are your views of those people? How do you feel? How can you approach your situations better? And I want to leave you with something that came to me last night. You influence people in a positive way. Most likely, you influence people in a positive way, and those people they're just not giving you credit for it, friend. And it's not like you care. But and this video is not directed to focus on the viewpoints of other people. This video I'm creating, this live I'm doing, is to get you to see the power in you. You're either one of the people that are not acknowledging the impact someone has in your life, or you're one of the people that are impacting someone's life in a positive way. You one or the other. And this video is really directed to you, to give you, to those that are impacting others positively, to those people that get up every day and find creative ways, whether intentionally to help someone else, or they get up every day and they find creative ways to overcome the challenges that they face. And in doing so, other people are seeing it, and it's inspiring them. I want to speak to you. This is something that Many of us experience, whether on the job, in family situations, whether in romantic situations, whether amongst friends. How many of us have friends in our lives that positively impact us, that we just don't say directly to them, that just how much positively their impact has been upon our lives? How many of us have people like that? That we just, it just becomes normal. They just come with this positivity. It might not, it's not that fake positivity where, oh hey, not to say that that's fake either, but they don't have to just, you know, bombard you with the norm that you think of as being positive. Oh, you look nice today. Oh, whatever it could be, y'all. Whatever it could be. You look nice today. The sun is shining so brightly today. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, these oranges are really ripe. Did you see that these prices went down on these oranges? How great is that? You don't have to bombard people with those types of things, the aesthetical things. But those same people could come upon you in pivotal times in your life and leave you with a positive word, remind you of your greatness, friend, because a lot of times we forget. Those people could be those warriors that come to say, hey, you're better than that. You must have forgot who you are. You are better than that, and you can and you will do better. I expect better from you because I know you to be better. You're just forgetting. Or they could be those friends in your circle that are always doing something new. And everything that they do is because they see the glass half full instead of half empty. No matter what life throws at them, they consistently get the most out of those situations by seeing themselves as capable, regardless to how other people view them. They constantly see themselves as capable. And regardless to what life throws at them, they always pull from them the beauty instead of the ugly. They alchemize those situations designed to really bring the worst out of them from other people, and they use those situations to pull beauty forth from them, giving birth to new beautiful things that they probably never have done, giving you the inspiration to do such things as well. It inspires you just because you're privy to their situation to go out in the world and to do the same things when faced with these same types of scenarios. These are the people that I'm talking to today in this video. And I want you to know, if you are that person, if you are similar to to this type of person that I'm conveying, I want you to know you got it. You got it, sis. You got it, guy. You have got it. I want to congratulate you today because you have got it. I got to be the one to send you out into the world feeling acknowledged. I want you to go out into the world with your chest poked out, knowing you got it. But I want you to go out into the world knowing you got it, and I want it to be contagious. Just like I'm telling you, you got it, and I'm giving you this information to shine the light on what you already have and the walk you've already done. I would like for you to go out into the world and multiply this energy, not hoard it to yourself and say, yep, I got it. Yep, I got that word this morning. I'm on fire. I got it, and nobody else has it but me. And I'm going to go out amongst everybody else in the world that's struggling with these same problems, yet they don't feel strong enough to tell anyone. They got their costume on like I had mine on, or that I still got portions of mine on. And they don't want anyone to know that they're going through it. And I'm going to go amongst them, and I'm going to parade myself around as if I have something that they don't have. No. That is denying the flow of spirit in you. Spirit did not send that vessel of inspiration in your life for you to hoard that feeling. Spirit blessed you with that vessel of inspiration for you to go out and tap somebody else with it. And then another, and then another. And then hopefully those people do the same thing. Because what we see in life a lot of times, y'all, is we will get a positive word. We will get encouragement. And we will go out and act like it was just for us. It starts and stops with us. And that we are one up from another person because of this word of encouragement. Whereas an hour ago, a day ago, or however long ago it was before you had that encouragement, you and that other person might have been neck to neck. But that person breathed something in you that inspired you and reminded you of what you already had. And now here you are amongst other people where you have the opportunity to do this same thing, to be the same gift amongst someone else. And you choose to hoard it. Or you choose to, on one hand, offer it and say, you got it. You're the best you've ever been today. God loves you. You are blessed, you are capable, you are strong. And on the other hand, ego comes in and you kind of work the plan of the enemy by in a way pulling the rug from up under someone's foot under someone's feet by discouraging them in a way, or maybe even throwing in a snide little nuance to make everybody happy. No, either you're going to be on the side of God or you're going to be on the side of the enemy. Either you're going to motivate and inspire and leave all that other stuff alone, or you're going to negate and try to belittle. You're going to have to pick a path. And even if that person that you inspire seems to grow in their knowing more abundantly than you, you can't allow ego and feeling to try to knock that person back down because of your own internal stuff. I want to use an example of this. When you look at Joseph, y'all, Joseph was insulted by his brothers. Joseph was insulted by his brothers. Joseph was attacked, threatened. Joseph's brothers saw in Joseph that which Joseph didn't even really truly see in himself. Joseph had what it took to do all that God had ordained for him to do. Yet God didn't give him the full knowledge of all that Joseph would go through, because Joseph wouldn't have chosen that path. So God would give Joseph just enough to keep Joseph in awe of what God was delivering to Joseph. God would give Joseph just enough to get Joseph through each hurdle. Yet his brothers, without even seeing the totality of what God would do at the time, his brothers not really even being those that received the revelations from God directly, and that would only hear it second party from Joseph, would see the potential in Joseph. And in order to try to stifle it, the only way that they could do anything to really stop it was to try to psychologically impede him, to make him defeat himself mentally, to discourage him. And he would come and tell them his dreams and all these different things, and they would see the love his father had for him, even though their father loved them too. There's 12 of them. When you're born in a large family like that, you can't be the type of person that's vying for attention from your parents all the time. There's too many of you. So these brothers had to have been used to not having the full attention of Jacob. There's 12 of them and girls. So it wasn't because of the attention. It was because of the anointing, the undeniable anointing that was over Joseph, that even his father saw. And one thing about God is that when God blesses you, nobody can stop God's blessing, friend. And a lot of times it frustrates people. When someone is blessed by God, It's not like you can go and manufacture a blessing by God. You can't go to Nordstrom's or Neiman's and go buy a blessing from God. You can't befriend someone and know the right people to get a blessing for God. The genies, the demons, shaitans, none of them can give you a blessing from God. It's exclusive. And only God himself can give you that blessing. So his brothers were limited. The only thing that they could do to Joseph was try to discourage Joseph mentally. And they would give Joseph discouraging words every time he came by, insults, insulting him. All they had were insults for Joseph, left and right, insults. And then when the insults didn't work, or when Joseph didn't allow the insults to bother him, whenever Joseph stood up for himself and maybe challenged them or ignored them or corrected them, it turned into a threat and then to an attack. Same way with Cain and Abel. Cain, same situation. He couldn't buy the blessing from God. He couldn't manipulate his way into the gift. He couldn't manipulate his way into having his offering accepted. And instead of looking at it for what it was and doing the things to correct it, he became frustrated and angry. He felt confined by it because it was nothing he could do. It was no way he could change it on his own outside of aligning to God. And because he didn't find himself worthy, he became so frustrated that the insults didn't work anymore with Abel. And now it was a threat. It's I'm going to do this to you if you ever defend yourself against me. I'm going to do this to you if you challenge me. I'm going to do this to you if you take up for yourself and show honor to yourself and you correct me. It always, it's the same format. And when Cain corrected Abel, that's when the attack happened. Same way with Joseph. Yet, what we will find with Joseph is that, and the main purpose of this video is to tell you that even though all of his brothers of his house and all the people that he would come in contact with after his brothers betrayed him and insulted him and threatened him and attacked him, all those people he would come into contact with, including his brothers, he would influence. None of these people influenced Joseph. You never see anywhere in the Bible where these people have blessed Joseph with something that he didn't already have. Joseph is always the central figure, and Joseph is always the one expounding upon what he knows to be true of God onto others. Joseph is always the one expounding upon his spiritual truths and his earthly knowledge to assist others in directing people. Joseph was the influencer that influenced the influencers. See, Joseph wasn't the leader of the people per se, because I want to bring this to the light. We forget this. You got kings and you have queens and you have influencers and you got presidents and all these high-ranking people. And then you have the people that these people delegate down to manage the people. Joseph was not the one that you would go to manage the people, even though he could, because when you see him in prison, he is doing just that. He's managing the prisoners. But he grows from that role, and he plays a position in every role as it relates to management. He knows how to manage himself first by way of his activities, being sold into slavery and betrayed by his brothers. He manages his activities and he's thrown into Potiphar's house. He falls into an extreme adverse situation amongst people that are gossipers. Potiphar's house was a gossip house. Potiphar's wife had a history of doing what she did to Joseph. He wasn't the first one. Potiphar knew it. All of the staff knew. She's telling them all the stories, all the lies that she's creating on Joseph. And because the staff, they're talkative too, and they create this cocoon around the situation. They create this facade of Joseph, this false light. I just did the podcast on this false light and how these demons are renowned for creating this false narrative on people. It's the first thing they do is they slander you, and they put you in a situation that you look terrible in. That a situation where you're viewed in the worst light ever amongst people that are in a position to make decisions about your life. Like Joseph. Joseph is the son of Jacob. He's a heir to the tribe of Israel, which will end up being one of the mightiest nation on earth. He's a king in a sense. But he's a slave. Not by his own doing. He's fallen into this at the hands of other people and their intentions. But he's not bucking and kicking and fighting. He's moving through it. And every step of the way that he moves through it, he's blessing all of those that he comes in contact with. Not as a peasant, but as a leader. At this point, Joseph hasn't led anybody. Joseph's just been bound and put into slavery by his brethren. But his situation would bring out this aspect in him. He would default to it because he was born with it. And his experiences would chisel it out within him. He would default into it. So yes, at Potiphar's house, he gets this mantle put on him by all of those within this messy environment. He would make a name for himself amongst the mighty within the environment that he would end up being somewhat of a king in. He would be introduced to this environment in the worst light he could ever be introduced in. He's a slave, and he gets put in prison for trying to rape Potiphar's wife. He goes into prison. He gets the best job in the prison. He's managing the prisoners. And he's counseling all along, y'all. He's influencing the people, and he's influencing those that are managing the people. Nobody's influencing Joseph. You don't hear one time anyone speaking life into Joseph. Where? You don't hear from the pit to Potiphar's house, to the prison, to the kingdom. You don't hear of anyone speaking life into Joseph except for his father Jacob when he reunites with him. Nobody. Joseph is the one expounding all of the knowledge, encouraging all of the people, whether peasant or king. He's encouraging them. Peasant, governor, or king. And this is what many of you are. Everywhere you go, you bless. Everywhere. Yet many people don't give you the credit for it. Joseph never got any credit for it. No, Joseph never got a pat on the back for it. It would be years after Joseph would tell the butler all that he told him. It would be years. The butler would become back acclimated in his role. It will be a huge catastrophe that would come upon Egypt that would remind the butler of Joseph. Had that catastrophe not come, the butler probably would have never brought up Joseph. But ain't that like God, y'all? God will create a situation for you, just for you, friend, to get all God has ordained for you. Don't worry about people. I'm telling you, many of you inspire people without them people even knowing y'all. Many of you inspire people without those people ever, not even ever knowing. Many of you inspire people without you ever knowing it. They know. They just don't come out and verbally tell you. And that's okay. You got to keep going. I want to come on here and give you your props today. Any of you that have gone through life and have faced adversity and have used that adversity to transform what you consider mundane, what you consider regular, but what someone else might consider beautiful. You consider it mundane and regular because you've been doing it for so long, but other people, it's a beauty, it's a gift. And you've been able to go through life and transform what is beautiful to others already into something even more beautiful, instead of making you bitter or making what is beautiful to others tarnish. You deserve a standing ovation, y'all. You deserve a standing ovation. You are the pillars of the house. You are necessary, friend. I'm here to tell you, you are necessary. I'm trying to go between two screens, y'all. You are a gift that keeps on giving. Do not allow no one in this world to discourage you. You are so necessary. Please use this video as a way to fire up that spirit in you so that this weekend that you go out and you bless the world more so with your gifts. Do the opposite of what those low level energies may want you to do. Do the opposite. Keep doing what you've been doing, because you must have been doing that. You must have been doing the opposite of what the low level energies have told you to do, because you wouldn't continuously bring forth beauty from the mud. From the mud, y'all. This was on my spirit, and I hope I spoke it correctly, because you guys, I get on here and hello to everyone that is here. I don't even know. I don't really do live, so I don't know really who's watching or if anyone is watching. I see some things, but I don't really know who's watching. But I'm going to begin doing more lives. I'm going to begin interacting more with you all. It does make me a little nervous because I haven't done it, and it's kind of weird to me, but I have to get myself acclimated to doing so, and allowing spirit to flow through me while I'm in these moments, because I'm used to recording it and maybe even editing. Most of the time when I do my videos, I just go for it and I just post it. I don't even edit it. But yeah, you guys, you love more than you'll ever know. If I could tell you, if I could just touch you and really have you feel exactly what I mean by that. This love that is over you, when I tell you that you are loved more than you will ever know, it's a relentless love, y'all. It doesn't care how you see it. It's not bound by your interpretation. It's the aspect of you that don't have nothing to do with what you see, feel, think. None of that. It's fixed. That means that you could be in your lowest point in life. You could feel the worst about you. You could feel that you are unworthy. You could base it upon all kind of actions that you've done and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. This love that I'm talking about, it don't care about any of that. It loves you the same. It doesn't diminish. It is your protection. Now, you can strengthen it. You strengthen it by empowering yourself with the knowledge of it. You strengthen it by doing the right things that make you feel good, not leaving any doubt in your heart regarding you and your walk. By going about life doing what you know to be the righteous thing, because it feels good, not because you want to go to heaven and God is going to bless you because of it. No, you do it because it's the right thing to do, regardless to whatever is amongst you, regardless to you being able to justify doing the opposite. The law is within your heart. Surely you can get the law in these books. This is a roadmap. This is a history book. This is a book to show these books, this Apocrypha, the Holy Bible, and all these spiritual books. A lot of times are books telling you a story of what other people did and how they got over and how God moved in certain situations. Because, friend, God is moving today, but God is not moving in the way that God moved in these books. When was the last time that we heard someone say that an angel came upon them and told them to do this, that, and the other? When is the last time we heard that? Out of the whole world. When? I'm very, very confident that there are angels moving amongst us, and they look just like me and you. We wouldn't even recognize them. Wouldn't even know it. Our perception of what is angelic is off. But the way that the Bible communicates, or the Apocrypha communicates these angels, I've not heard anyone say that any of these beings have come amongst them. Yet God still moves, y'all. God moves within circles that many of you wouldn't think that God would move in. Yet God is the mighty hand orchestrating all the players. The demons, the angels, and all points in between all bow to God. There is no separation here. Because if God didn't deem them worthy to exist, they wouldn't exist. They all play a role. Everybody is out here playing their role. You must play yours. And your role is the vessel of God. You are the vessel. You are God's footman in the earth. You are the one that God has imbued with the Spirit, with God's Spirit within them, to direct your paths in the earth as God's avatar to do God's will. What has happened is that these energies have done what they were programmed to do, or even that have done what they have fallen out of sequence and have begun to do. And that is to turn you from the knowledge of your role and to make you think that it is you that's doing all of these things and that there is no other. And that's just not true. Because if that was the true, friend, you would be empowered with knowledge as well. God just wouldn't, you don't see anything in the world that has tremendous power and not coupled with knowledge. So if God made you to move in the earth as God Almighty, mind you, not lowercase g God, because you got a lot of gods out here, friend. But God Almighty, if God created you to move in the earth as God Almighty, God would imbue in you knowledge to be able to do such. But many of us can't even forecast out our tomorrows. We don't even know what is going to come in the next 10, 20 minutes, the next 5 seconds. This is the part. This is where I get knowing your role. Know what role you play in God's kingdom. And then playing that position to the best of your ability. With no doubt, with no apprehension. When God says go, you're ready to go. You can compete amongst the best of them without a degree. You don't need a degree. You don't need knowing the right people. God will create a play for you where you will be put in a position where the right people will see you. You don't have to go see anybody. I just did the video yesterday on blind Bartimaeus. Like I said, I have been hearing about this blind Bartimaeus over the last few years more than I've ever heard in my life, like literally. And I wasn't joking. I'm being honest. I had thought of this about a year ago to do this video, but I just didn't feel like it was worthy. And then yesterday I said, I'm going to go on and do this video on blind Bartimaeus. Blind Bartimaeus is out there peddling because he had to. It wasn't a choice. He didn't have a choice in the matter. He's blind. And at a time when being blind was not, I mean, it's not ever an advantage to be blind. But really, at that time, it was a tremendous disadvantage. There's no systems. I feel the same way I feel the same way you do about angels existing amongst us, but I haven't been back in church since 91. Well, so um angels do exist amongst us, friend. They do. And they exist amongst us in the most um unassuming ways. See, if God wants to hide something, God will hide it amongst something that you would not even think it would be in. See, what are angels? Angels are messengers, right? Angels are fixed. They don't have free will. They're messengers. So they're not here to entertain us. The last thing an angel wants to do is to be noticed, more than likely. If they are God's vessels in the earth to either convey God's messages or to gather information about us and give back to God, then they would not want to be known. They wouldn't. Remember that movie with Ashton Kutcher, The Butterfly Effect? Think of that movie. Whereas he would travel back in time, and one of the rules was that in traveling back in time, you can't change anything when you go back. You can't change anything when you go back. You got to go back in time and then just view as a voyeur. You can't change anything because when you change something, it changes all sorts of other things. It's the same way. So these angels, when they come amongst us, they will come in the most unassuming form. Wouldn't they look like a homeless person at the gas station sitting out there? Who pays attention to those people? If anything, you're trying to be as far away from those people as possible. You don't want to touch them people. You don't want to talk to those people. You don't look at them long. But they see you. So, yes, there are many angels amongst us. There are many angels amongst us, friend. And they are viewing everything, whether they are in the form of a bird. Have anybody noticed the amount of crows out here nowadays? Am I the only one? Look, I know I'm 51. Y'all might be much younger than me. But when I was coming up, friend, it was a lot of pigeons. And I'm in California. It was a lot of pigeons. But now, I don't even see pigeons anymore. All I see are crows. And spiritually, what do crows signify? Crows signify crows and ravens that look exactly like crows, except for the tail is different. That's how you can tell the difference if you look close enough. They are messengers. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. These crows, y'all, crows are messengers. So, when we talk about angels amongst us, the angels are around us at all times, friend. It's just your perception and my perception of what an angel looks like that may be off. Because they are very much so pronounced and they are very much so around. And God is still moving, y'all. I'm here to tell you, God is moving nowadays more than God has ever. I'm not going to say ever moved, but God is moving nowadays more than God has moved in quite some time. God is moving blatantly. It's just that, right now we have so many distractions. And a lot of us have been programmed in a way that our perception of God is different. Crows do. They do at a time. Crows they don't mean death. They don't mean that. They don't give me bad vibes at all. They don't mean death. They are. So what I have seen of crows is that crows are the spirits that come after one has transitioned. They are like from what ancient sources have said and what I've seen. I remember when my aunt passed away. This is about 30 years ago. My aunt passed away, and I remember a few days after she died, looking out the front window of her house, and I saw, like, I don't know, a bunch of crows on the lawn. And I immediately knew that she was being, they had come for her spirit to help her spirit transition. I was a young girl. I was in my teens, early teens, probably 15, 14. And for me to have known that in my spirit, I believe it was true. It was spirit telling me exactly what they came for. They don't mean death. And we got to get this death thing under control too, y'all. Okay? We got to be able to put a hand on this thing. What exactly is death? We look at death like if someone passes away as like, oh, they did something wrong in their life. They must have done something terrible. But we all up out of here, friend. Well, you got folk out here threatening people with taking their life. You can't take nobody's life in this world. You don't take nothing. You just transfer someone from breathing to non-breathing. And you, in doing so, curse yourself. That's how this thing works. We are all going to leave this planet in the physical form. There's not one of us going to make it up out of here alive. I don't care what they done told you. I don't care what agreements they made. I don't care. You're not going to make it up out of here alive. And I think, I have a book out called Not by Will Nor by Might, but by Love. And in my book, I did a whole chapter on death. This life, look, I don't know which direction this live is going, but I can go all kind of ways with this. This life is, I'm 51 years old, friend. I'm halfway through my life. You say you're 56 or something. I can't look at it and remember, friend. And thank you all for joining. But we halfway through this. And I know if you're like me, you look back on your life and you're like, dang, where did all the time go? It's like it surely it was a long time, but it wasn't that long. This life is not long. It ain't long at all, friend. Many people say life is long. No, life is not long, friend. Not when you're active and you're taking it in and you're doing things that are helpful to you. This life is not 56. Okay, yep. So you know what I'm saying. And you don't feel any different. You feel just as good as you did when you were 25. At least I do. And you want to get the most out of it. But this life is fleeting. This cannot be it. There's no way you can convince me that God created this whole world and he created us and gave us the spark of life within us and poured his spirit in us and allowed us to experience all we've experienced in this life for this to be it. For no reason. Just because he was bored one day and he wanted something to do. There is a method to this madness. You mean to tell me I have wondered and I have sought and I have walked the walk of this life for nothing? Throughout my whole life, the synchronicities of all things that have come together that at the time when I experienced them were so confusing, yet as I kept walking and I kept leaning in on the law of my heart to direct my path, that all those synchronicities began to make themselves make sense and empower me and protect me and guide me. And all of that was done for nothing. Well, sometimes what, friend? Life, yes, I'm always looking back on life past sometimes. I don't understand what you're saying. You mean to tell me God did all of this for nothing? I don't think so. I think there is a divine pattern at play here. And we don't even have half of the information. And we're not supposed to. We're supposed to do what we choose to do in this life based upon the information that's out there. Based upon all the time we've had in this world, what do you choose to seek out? What do you find important? And then when our time comes, we are judged by that. Many people have a problem with being judged. We judge each other all day in this life. We judge each other for the way we dress, the way we handle our kids. We judge each other by how many times you post on social media. Oh, she's lazy. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. She doesn't post it. We judge each other for things that don't even matter. So why wouldn't God judge us? Why wouldn't God look at the totality of our entire life and judge us and say, oh, you're worthy to come up in here, or you're not? There's order in God's kingdom, and I thank God for that. There's no recklessness in God's kingdom. There's recklessness in man's kingdom. I thank God that there is order in God's kingdom. It's refreshing. It gives you something to hope for. Because, man, if there was no order, I don't know what we would do, y'all. We'd be up the creek. But yeah, so like I was saying, about the blind Bartimaeus thing, the guy out there panhandling, because he had to. He's put in a position where he has to play the position of a panhandler. He out there with his cup. Here you go. And through rain, sleet, snow, all of the elements, he's out there because he don't have a choice. And he has to depend on people because he doesn't have a choice. So, when he hears Jesus coming, the Messiah coming, he cranks it up a notch. Not in a way that other people feel comfortable about it, but in a way that the Spirit rose up in him to do it. And many of us are doing that same thing in our lives. We're going about life the way that Spirit is directing us to go. Because we don't know any other way. What are we supposed to do? Ask everybody for advice on what to do? Oh, go on social media and look up what everybody else is telling you to do, and then go do that. You'll be positioned in everybody's song and dance all day. You'll be exhausted. When do you stand up within yourself and say, this is my thing and this is the way I'm doing it? And just like blind Bartimaeus said, you know what? If he passes me by, it won't because he didn't know I was here. If he denies me, it won't be because I didn't ask. It won't be because I didn't try. Regardless to what everybody else says, the way I should try. I'm trying it the way God is showing me to try. And this is what I'm doing. This has got to be enough. So, yeah. All is well. All is well. We all have a role to play. And we are all useful to one another. Not to, follow and to make someone your God, but to just take bits and pieces. And like we're sitting here and we're communicating amongst one another. This is what we were created to do. We were created to bounce our ideas off of one another. And what resonates, you keep, and what doesn't, you don't, and you just keep on going. Because at the end of the day, this is each of our lives. And it is our responsibility to get everything we need to get out of it. This is a place where God gets to see exactly what you want to do. What do you want to do? This is when Jesus' Last Supper, and he's sitting there in front of all of that food. And he's got all of those people around them, regardless if you see them as people, constellations, planets, energies, whatever you want to equate them to. There's something for you. Whatever you want to equate it to, it's something there for you. But the fact remains is that there is a multitude of decisions at that table. Multitudes of decisions. Pick whichever one you want. Pick them. But you have to stand in that decision you make. You must know that, okay, you pick the grape, you choose to eat these grapes, you stand in what comes from eating these grapes. If your stomach is upset from the grapes, then that's the decision you made. You don't have to stay in that decision, though. You can experience that and say, you know what, that worked for me, and I know what that's about, but that's not what I thought it was going to be. I changed my mind and I go over here and I'm going to try that. And you do the same. You repeat the process until you find your way. That is life. That is life. Just wanted to come on today with the word for y'all. I'm an hour in. I'm going to be doing more of these. Thank you, friend. I hope to see you next time I come on. I'm gonna be doing more of these videos live. I'm going to be coming on live more often. Yeah, I'm going to overcome this fear. I'm one of those people that I face my fears, y'all. I have to, or else I feel like I'm not living up to the expectation. I'm allowing something to direct me that I should be directing. So I hold myself. I'm big on accountability. Hold myself accountable to those things. Your love more than you'll, yes, your love more than you'll ever know. I cannot ever tell you how much you are loved. It's a relentless love. Randolph. Okay, hi, Randolph. I'm Michelle. Everybody call me Auntie. It's a relentless love, y'all. It's a love that cannot ever leave you. It's the love that has covered you your entire life. And it's a love that, regardless to how you view yourself, regardless to how you feel about you, it still loves you. I'm going to jump off. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Peace and love. Now, how do I end this? Okay. Oh, okay, y'all.